Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Wednesday, the 10th of February's literacy lesson. So, first things first then, today our learning objective is to write a non-chronological report. So the first thing you need to do is open your book and write the date and the learning objective on the next clean page. Pause the video while you do that. Right, so just to remind us, our learning objective today is to write, and we are writing our non-chronological report of a newly discovered species. Okay, so this is our must, should and could for the day. So when you are writing, you really need to think about these things these things here to get the best possible features into your writing. So a basic piece of writing would have just capital letters, full stops and exclamation or question marks, and subheadings to organise. Okay, so that is what a very minimal piece of writing should have. To make our writing more interesting, we should be looking at adverb and conjunction openers that we learnt last week in our work, and then starting to use technical vocabulary, so all that scientific language that we've been putting in this week. Next thing we need to do to make our work even better is to explain our facts with our own sentences. Now this is quite easy this week, because we have invented our facts, so it would be easy for us to explain them, and then extend sentences with conjunctions. So just to give you a little bit more detail about our task, we are reporting our observations of our newly discovered species, and it's just going to be a draft report so far. So the audience that we're writing for is the world's scientific community, specifically biologists, zoologists and marine biologists. And because we're writing to fellow scientists and explorers, the language we need to use has to be formal. It has to have clear explanation, and it has to have a use of scientifically accurate description and vocabulary. Okay? Right. And yeah, there's the criteria that it needs to follow. I've already gone through that. So I'll just quickly go forward to this. So first things first, what you need to do is just write a little bit of an introduction. Now, don't take too long on this, only a couple of minutes. But I've just given mine a title. I've put it Report on Specimen A, the Leopitian, I've called it a sand lurker here. That's incorrect. It's not a sand lurker, it's a sand chameleon. Shocking. So, Report on Specimen A, a Leopitian sand chameleon. Okay. I'll have to change it there as well. Let's just do a copy and paste job there. Bear with me in 6, thank you. There we go. Right, so mine just goes a little bit like this. While there are many dangerous animals that inhabit the island of Leopitia, a formidable predator lurks in the shallow waters and the rockier beaches of the island. We have observed from a distance the habits and behaviour of the Leopitian sand chameleon, and noted it to share several similarities with other known reptiles, as well as unique adaptations. Okay, so your introduction just needs to mention the island of Leopitia. It needs to introduce the animal, but not with too much description. So like that part here about it being a formidable predator lurking in the shallow waters, so I'm giving it a location as well. Say what you observed and if it is similar or different to other animals. Obviously, if you've gone with the unknown enormous marine predator, you would say something along the lines of, it is unlike any species of animal ever discovered on this planet. And then if it is similar, you could say it shares several similarities with, and I would put, for example, a marine iguana for mine. Okay, pause the video while you write a quick introduction. Okay, so what we need to do is you'll need to look at your diagram from Monday, the physical features of your new species, and then the notes from Tuesday, the notes on the habitat. Okay, so here we go. So this is the one we want to do first, and this is what I'm going to show you today, just the physical features part. Okay, so pause the video while you have a read through of your work from the other day. Okay, now that you've done that, turn back to today's page and write a subheading of physical features. Okay, I'm just going to quickly zoom back to this page. So I've got the must, should and could. Okay, you'll have this in your booklet, so keep this open and keep double checking that you're using the same things in here. So, right, physical features. Just going to go back and check. Now I'm going to give it a few sentences as an introduction. So, physical features. The Leopitian sand chameleon shares close similarity to the Galapagos marine iguana. However, there are several key differences. Full stop. Right. So now let's go back. First thing I'm going to describe it as is, amazingly, this creature has chromatophoric skin. And then in brackets, similar to chameleons, close brackets. Amazingly, this creature has chromatophoric skin, brackets, similar to chameleons, close brackets. So, using that conjunction to explain, it is fantastic at camouflaging on land. So it's fantastic at camouflaging on land. If the creature is in the water, oh, actually, I'm going to change that. Is in a marine environment, make it sound more scientific. Because that's what we're looking for, isn't it? Trying to make it sound over the top scientific. If the creature is in a marine environment, it is nearly invisible. It is nearly invisible. Yeah, if the creature is in a marine environment, comma, it is nearly invisible. And then I'm going to put which makes it a formidable hunter, despite its slow speed. Okay, right. So that's my first bit there, and that was just literally the bit about its chromatophoric skin. Okay, so the next few things around here, I'm going to start writing about probably its poison sacs and its teeth. So I'm going to do that bit together, and then I'm going to let you write the next two bits. So now I've already started with an ingly, with an adverb opener there. I've also used let's just check that. I've also used a conjunction opener. I've got technical vocabulary in there, and then I'm explaining my facts quite well as well, subheadings, and then the capital letters and full stop. So it's quite simple this week to hit all of those features. I don't really want to start with another ly word, so I think I'm just going to start with the creature for this one. I think that's okay. I'm going to start a new paragraph. So, yeah, the sand chameleon has evolved specialized glands on its neck for what's the word I'm looking for there? For making. I don't want making. That's a bit of a rubbish word. For developing a potent poison, and then I'm going to put a scientific phrase which has yet to be analysed. So it means we don't really know what it is, which has yet to be analysed. Analysed, full stop. This poison is delivered to its victims by its razor sharp, and we need a hyphen between razor and sharp there. It's razor sharp, comma, needle-like, also a hyphen there, needle-like teeth. So I'm just going to go back and remind myself what I wrote about its teeth. Long, thin, needle-like teeth, which deliver poison to prey when it bites them. So which deliver it to its victims by its razor-sharp, needle-like teeth. And then I'm going to put similar to that of rattlesnakes. Full stop. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you carry on now. So sorry, I meant to go back to this. So you will need to write about the rest of the physical features of the Leopitian and sand chameleon. And then, as going back to this, when you finish this, just going back to the other side, also writing today about habitat as well. So, underneath, after you'd finished, you would just write habitat there and underline it, and then you'd start writing about the habitat of your animal using your notes from the other day. So I didn't actually write notes about habitat, I wrote about hunting and foraging and diet instead. So you'd have to refer to your notes that you wrote about habitat, and you do the same kind of thing. Just make sure that you're using those different ly openers that we used the other week, and make sure that you've got some different conjunction openers as well. Okay, so perhaps you could start off, just to give you some ideas, when, as and because are easy ones to start with. If is another easy one, and then adverb openers. You could have interestingly, amazingly, curiously, unusually, all of those different ly openers that you could be using. Okay, just to give you some examples there. Right, okay. Once you've finished all of that, make sure that you do a little bit of a quick edit. So just read everything out loud, make sure that it sounds okay, make sure there are no writing errors and that everything makes sense. And then check capital letters at the start of sentences and names of places, and then of course animals, and then of course check your full stops, exclamation or question marks at the end of sentences. Okay, right, good luck year 6, and I'll see you tomorrow.